Oh, ho, ho. Oh, you don't know the power. So, since I'm doing the Star Wars in order, the next one is the cartoon Clone Wars. So, let me give you a quick backstory about that. But before that happens, cue the intro. I'm just having fun with these. Yeah! Yes, yes, yes. Put that there. Oh boy. It's messing up right now. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, because of how I felt about the Clone Wars movie, where overall I still had some disappointment, I saw some of the micro shows, but then they were kind of out of order when I saw them. So, I liked what I saw, but I didn't really understand what was happening fully. And I was like, okay. And then they came out with the Clone Wars cartoon, and I kept hearing people rave about it, but once again, I saw it out of order a little bit. I didn't realize it was, so it was kind of like, this show is kind of garbage, and it was confusing. And then I saw Anakin with the future thing and Dragon, and I checked out. So I actually watched the series more recently since they brought it back, and I seen some people like there's some people like the dude from Geeks Gamers, Jeremy, who literally said it's his favorite Star Wars thing ever, and I keep seeing people ride it, and I'm like, why are you all saying that this thing? Because everything I saw of it was kind of yeah to me. So I said, well, you know what? To be fair, I'm going to watch this, and I just need to say, I mean, from what I experienced from it and how I got for it. Oh my God! This show is the truth. Oh, it's probably the best thing. And I'm sorry I got loud. Oh my gosh, this. First off, you got how you say his name, Darren Travitsky, who did the freaking Clone Wars movie thing that I will own. With the thing with the battles, it was like, you want battles? You want to see Jedi? You want to see them get it in? Let's do this. It's 2 hours of them just murking it up. It was great. You see Yoda going off. You see Mace Windu going off. You see the clones going in. You see freaking Anakin looking like a beast. And it was just like, yo. And it went in there. And I'm covering all Clone Wars, right? So then you go into the actual Clone Wars cartoon show. And they did that weird movie because it wasn't made to be a movie, but I remember they released it. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. It was like the first 4 episodes or whatever. So who cares? Now, this show actually filled in the gaps. Now, I want to point something out. I do not, and I'm calling you out on this a little bit, not because I have beef with you or anything, because I seen you guys say this, and I don't think you're being fair. I seen Jeremy, Mecha Random, and a few others say that they don't like the fact that Rise of Skywalker has, which I love how Mecha said this is still genius, DLC, and how you have to either go watch this or go purchase this to do that, to get more of the story surrounding it. Clone Wars is DLC. And to get season 7, you had to pay for it to see how it ended. That's DLC to Attack of the Clones. Because there's a lot of things that happen in Attack of the Clones that didn't totally, and Revenge of the Sith, that didn't totally sit, that you had to watch this show in order to kind of connect all the pieces. And it's like, yeah, like, and you shouldn't have to do that to watch the one if it wasn't intended to be that way. Now, Marvel does theirs that way, but that's because their intention is this is building into the bigger universe. Star Wars Clone Wars was kind of like they kind of said it, but they kind of didn't. But I'm just saying, you can't call out one without calling out the other. It's a little hypocritical. Yeah, you may, just because you love Clone Wars, and trust me, after watching it, wow, wow. And part of my thing for wanting to watch it was also because of Ahsoka showed up in cartoon shows I actually really liked, like Rebels. Um, so I'm just saying, you can't hate on one unless you ding the other. You got to be fair here. So, or try to be. So, like I said, the mini movie that was awesome. The action was incredible. You can sit down and just watch that mini movie. You want to have an action fix, just all the wars and the stuff they're blowing up and the clones, and you really get to see a lot about it. Like I said, when they had like the out of order, like how season 1 was episode 2, I'm glad I actually did wait and do this. Sorry, had technical difficulty. I still would have looked at it as just like a kind of situation. So I'm glad I actually waited. And because actually with that out of order thing, it's what turned me off because it was so confusing and weird. To me, the CG was fine. It wasn't that bad. Some people bring it. I thought it actually looked okay. Like it fit for the show, and I think it got better as it went. It built the fight as it went through. Sometimes with the stuff I did notice, and it got better later. There's like no physics, so like you would see people move, and it was kind of like, see how I'm moving, but it feels like there's resistance. It felt like there were like no resistance. Um, and you had the Micro Clone Wars series. Like I said, that was good. Um, just looking at my stuff here. Oh, and in this series, you did get to start to see Anakin's dark side coming out. His emotions, like when he was fighting the one, I forgot the sisterhood thing, and he wanted to kill her. He's like, I wanted to kill you. And you seen it like in the show, like times he was like, I would totally kill you right now if it was. It was like the war made him, it affected him like it would for some people. And also, too, it even fixed and helped the next movie, which I'll get into that coverage, with the whole how he got to that point. Because I'll get to that movie when I get to it. I don't want to start going into it. This show did so much for this series. Um, but you've seen like a lot of things where Anakin was kind of slipping. Also, too, about how he sided with the council against Ahsoka. I thought that was interesting. So then it makes sense later why he was so upset with the council because he went against Padawan. By the way, I also had an issue with the fact that the level of Jedi that he was at, why did he have a Padawan? And then I was really annoyed because I didn't watch the series. I knew some about the series. She never showed up in the movies, and it really pissed me off. Because I'm like, this is getting on my nerves. This is stupid. Because you shouldn't have had it. And I felt like they just made it up just to give him a little bubbly buddy. Like, oh, I'm going to get a little bubbly girl because we want to make it a kiddie cartoon. So it was like, okay, why do you have Ahsoka here? He's not even at the level that he should. I mean, he's being trained by his master. And even if you think about it, in the first movie, Qui-Gon and Obi, that was his master. Obi then elevated up to his Jedi level, Jedi Knight. Or he might have been a master at a point. But basically, there's a level you're supposed to start having a Padawan. And Anakin was still being trained. So it was like, why is he still being trained to do this? But then Anakin was also exposed to war. He was doing a lot of war heroic-y stuff and everything. So I think it kind of went like, all right, well, you're at a level at least enough to train, even though he was still not, I don't think he was ready and shouldn't have. But it does play later why I'm changing that tune. Just that was my thoughts back then. Now they did have some filler episodes, and that kind of got annoying. And in the final trailer, that looked good. In the season, I know some people said 5 through 8, but I watched the whole series because whether it did it or didn't, it didn't matter. The series as with Ahsoka, which I want to say this now because I may forget to say it during Mandalorian. I actually think it would be very cool to see Rosario Dawson play Ahsoka. And all the people who are complaining, well, she did blah, blah, blah. It's called an accusation. We, as people, if it's not in the court and it's not proven, stop saying someone's guilty. Stop it. That's dumb. They're not guilty. They're just being accused of something. There's no evidence, no proof, no nothing. Someone got mad, and it could have been simple as, I'm mad at you, I know how to ruin you. Okay? I think she would play a great Ahsoka. I thought she plays a great Wonder Woman. I liked her in Sin City. I like Rosario Dawson. She has a really good look for Ahsoka too. Like her facial structure, I could really see that, and I could see her play that up. And I think she has a great build for it. She's at the proper age for it to do it, and she has the skill. And I freaking love Rosario Dawson. I think she's awesome, and I think she should be able to do it. And I think she would give the role justice. And it was awesome. It had perfectly. It felt heartfelt. The relationships felt genuine. Um, it connects with the movie, and oh, this is the ending. So, like I said, I have a lot on here, so I do apologize. I'm going to be jumping around. I just want to talk about this now. So the ending to the show. First off, it was heartfelt. It was wonderful. It connected to the movies. It connected to Rebels. It has so much magic to it. Like, oh my god, it is one of the best endings. You could feel something, okay? I actually felt emotion welling up. And lately, the only things that have been really doing that to me more lately is anime and certain movies. My Hero Academia, I felt it. My Rising Shield Hero got emotion out of me. Logan definitely got emotion out of me. And I actually felt something. Like, I felt me welling up. It was very powerful ending. And it was like, dude, and it was so cool to see Darth Maul do the thing kind of like Vader did, and that even connected to how he was around and also back in the thing with Solo, or the thing later with Solo and stuff. So I hope they kind of dig more into the underground. They keep showing things with it. And Ahsoka, um, like I told you guys, it's spoilerific. Ahsoka, how her friends when the chip activated, and you see how Rex later at Rebels, like how he is, and he's in one of the movies. Um, but like how these people were her friends and what they had to do with some of the Jedi, and like she got close to them, and it was so heart wrenching. But she also had to do what she had to do with Order 66, which they took stuff directly from the movie. That was so freaking cool. The actual voice act scene, you really got to see some more impact of Order 66. Also, it pushed with the original. It just has so much. The dialogue was there. It was so cool, and it added to the lore. And it was massive, and it did. And then you got Filona and Gilroy with that thing touch. Um, and I liked how, like I said, it added new elements. Also, in the movies, it felt like almost the entire time Obi-Wan and Anakin were just annoyed with each other all the time, and they were just nitpicking at each other and nagging, and it was just so. Their relationship got really frustrating until like the third movie, which is still as frustrating, but not as much. You saw more actual connection between the two of them. Once again, you're not supposed to hold on to world possessions or relationships, but you do see that they become extremely close and bonded because you cannot turn off your human emotions all the way unless you're a sociopath. Um, but yeah, like their relationship in the show, you really got to see it. Their banter, their anger, their things. How come they were like that towards each other? How things were. I thought felt it. It really did. It helped build that love and stuff. And I wish they would have came out with this before the movie because then rewatching it in order, it really impacted the third movie. The third movie to me was elevated because of this show, and Attack of the Clones was elevated because of this show. Um, you see Anakin, like I said, the opposite. Like you see Obi at that mouth, and Anakin, and you see him get more angry and violent. He kind of has this lone wolf thing where he's like, "I'll do it," and he would jump down the hole. Like, and I just thought that was really cool how they did that. Um, he had to rage like what they did to rage for not being in the council. Now it makes sense because he did a lot of heroics during that war. He actually did a lot. Anakin did. He got scarred from it, lost his hand from it, got an eye hang from it. Like it's really something there that they could have did. And then when the council turned on Ahsoka and the decision was over his Padawan, I thought that was interesting because now it kind of helped um, why they did. And I thought, like I said, she was going to be this popcorn character, the bubbly partner, yay, little kitty. But she actually turned out to be a very deep character, and her arc is wonderful. And I love how she keeps showing up through the different, like she showed up in Rebels, and they did that more of that story, and how she may show up in Mandalorian. I actually think it's a good idea. Some people say that they think it's going to be overboard, but I actually want to see a live action Ahsoka. And to me, I look at it like this: why shouldn't Disney make Mandalorian and them look me them like the cartoon shows? It seems like the cartoon shows, for the most part, are where a lot of Star Wars fans, even frustrated ones, seem to go. You know what? This is good though, so they should capitalize on that, and I think they should. She's top tier. She's a bright-eyed Jedi Knight. She does her own way. I like that. She cares in her own way because of just how they pulled her in, and it was kind of similar to Anakin. And I feel like what they got out of Ahsoka is what they wanted to get from Rey. And they were able really to pull it off with Ahsoka more. And the series for the Night Sisters, that's sick. Like bye, like that was awesome. I like how they did that. It felt like a large scale war was going on through the situation. When I finally got to see the crazy future vision scene and how it kind of did the Force thing, it made so much more sense. The dragon and everything. I was like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense. This is interesting. Like Anakin started seeing things and stuff. That was freaking cool, and he would hear the whispers or whatever. Um, the clone. Oh, and here's something I thought was amazing. So in the movies, I didn't really care about the clones so much. I was like, oh, they're just Jingle Feds. This series, like how people can name Rex and they can name clones because you connected to them. It felt strong, especially with like their personalities. How you seen some of them, like one of the clones, he became a farmer and got a family, and he's like, I don't want to do this. And you see them like change their hairstyles. They had different cuts, different things. They become individuals. Technical difficulty. Thought he was just selling the stuff out, but it was really cool. Captain Rex is awesome. Rex is no joke. As him as a person, like he has a scorn and sympathy. But I want to close this one out with that ending. When you saw what happened with the clones, you saw the tear. Like it really got my eyes watering. Like I was like, oh man, I'm really feeling this after watching the entire series just power through. This is how awesome that series is. I actually want to sit down and watch it again without just analyzing it and just let it wash over me. That's how good the series is. And I wanted to share that because I'm going to say that Star Wars The Clone Wars, a lot of it I did expect, but some of it was still very powerful. And I'm going to say it's a should buy. It didn't blow my mind. Like I said, some of it I expected or anything, but definitely a should buy, which is a very high honor. It's a series that I say if you have any issues with the prequels, Clone Wars really helps them along. It's like 112 episodes or whatever in a 2-hour movie. It really, really does. So, that's my take on Clone Wars. Definitely, it's a should buy. I thought, out of all the prequel stuff, it's the best thing of the prequels, hands down. And that's including the one I even thought was pretty decent. It's the best. And I'm glad they did what they did. So, I want y'all to stay safe, stay healthy. The Geek Protagonist is out. I am going to be doing Revenge of the Sith. And the first part will be done. I do apologize for all the technical difficulties. I had some stuff running on there and pulling. So, thank you. And have a good day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. Geek Protagonist is out. Yeah.